皆さんこんにちは。ワールドバレエデーへようこそ。バーミンガムロイヤルバレエ団プリンシパルの平田桃子です。今年のワールドバレエデーは通常と少し異なり、世界4カ国でそれぞれの国の出身のダンサーたちがそれぞれの言語で配信を行っています。私たちのバレエ団は世界各国からダンサーが集まってきて、今回の新しい試みで世界中のもっとたくさんの方々とつながれることを祈っています。バーミンガムロイヤルバレエ団は過去に何度も日本ツアーを行い、常に日本とはいい関係を築いてきました。それには前監督であるデイビッド・ビントレーさんが長年東京の新国立劇場の監督を務めていたことが関係していると思います。2011年、東北を襲った大震災後、大変な状況の中、真っ先に日本を訪れたのは私たちバーミンガムロイヤルバレエ団でした。復興のため少しでも日本の皆様の力になりたいという気持ちが伝わって、これを機に日本との絆がさらに深まったと思います。本日最初に紹介する作品は、コロナ禍で振り付けられたバーニングビルディングという作品です。この作品は6月にバーミンガムインターナショナルダンスフェスティバルで上演され、その後トロント国際映画祭を含む全4カ所でノミネートされるなど、とても高い評価を受けた作品です。それではバーニングビルディングの制作者の方々に詳しく紹介していただきましょう。次はフリーホールダンスカンパニーのとても素敵な作品を皆様に紹介いたします。その前に皆様に嬉しいお知らせがあります。最近私たちバーミンガムロイヤルバレエ団の YouTube チャンネルができました。その中の BLBTV は新しい企画で、普段なかなか見ることができないダンサーたちの日常生活を紹介する内容となっています。興味のある方はぜひチャンネル登録をお願いします。それでは長い付き合い。
The title, The Burning Building, comes from a quote from an interview from a book called Follies of God, which are a series of interviews with Tennessee Williams, which I guess some people are aware that I am a great buff and I have followed and researched his work for many years now. And there was something about that in life, that if life, the metaphor of life is a burning building, the only thing that we have to hold on to is love and each other.
Working with Javier was a really nice experience for both of us, because especially like having gone through all the lockdowns and being home for so long.
Like really nice to work with Javier, because it's not all about dance. It's more about, like, I think, the feeling for each other, the relationship.
You know, when Carlos approached me and suggested these two dancers, these two very, very young but very, very intense and beautiful dancers, I knew that I was not going to be able. I want to create a different kind of chemistry. I didn't want to make a love story, too easy. I didn't want to make a sexual tension story, too easy. But the idea of two characters of different gender reacting to the same situation in different ways, and being able to spend a bit of very intense time in the studio with the two of them, it would make it feel like it was really created in their bodies, which really was, but also with me as a conduit of unleashing something that would be very different of what they tend to do for their stage work, to be able to direct the dancers into the size of working for the camera, on the use of close-ups, on the use of being aware that what we film is should look effortless, and it should look almost as this off the cuff, that it just happened, which takes a lot of rehearsal for that to happen. And by the time that we went into the actual film set, it would look like it was the very first time that they were the ideas were coming from their heads and their bodies rather than being told or looking rehearsed, so that it had a freshness.
Hello everybody and thank you for tuning in. Welcome to World Ballet Day here at Birmingham Royal Ballet. It is wonderful to have you here with us to celebrate our work. Throughout this program, you get the chance to meet some of our brilliant dancers, find out about some of the work we have been doing during the last year, and more importantly, we'll give you a glimpse of what is in store now we are back on stage in front of live audiences once more. We're doing things a little differently for World Ballet Day this year. We are bringing the world 4 separate shows made especially with Australia, New Zealand, Japan, the UK and the Americas in mind. Whatever part of the world you are in, I hope you will enjoy your time with us today. Next up, we are going to be looking at our November Triple Beard shows curated by Carlos at Sadler's Wells in London. As part of this program, I will be performing a brand new pas de deux with the great Alexander Ferry, made especially for us by Goyo Montero to be danced as part of his ballet Chacona. If you can make it to London this November, don't worry, as we are capturing this ballet on film. We are hugely excited to announce that Birmingham Royal Ballet's curated by Carlos show will launch the Sadler's Wells digital stage platform on 11th of November. To sign up for ticket alerts to this show, please follow the link below.
My name is Miguel Altunaga. I am a dancer from Cuba. I am a choreographer as well. I've been dancing in different companies throughout my career. I dance at Contemporary of Cuba, Rambert Dance Company, and now at Hofer Schechter. My style as a choreographer is to be as honest as I can with my ideas, but I do like things that have a connection with feelings, stories, people in general. I love stories of real people and stories that can really connect with the audience because we're all human and we all have feelings.
Now, the other note is like Hannah has a moment of walking, looking at the city whilst the other one are walking. That is a beautiful moment.
You see that determination, resilience, coming, like some of you had it, but Matilda was constant. I was like, I want to be there with you, girl. So make sure you have that because that's when you're coming together. So like, going for it, yeah.
The City of a Thousand Trades is a piece that talks about finding home, finding a new place. Where can I find my roots? It's a piece that talks about people finding, coming from different countries, different part of the world, into a new place and start from the beginning, from zero, and shows their struggles, their journey, and how they make it to how they basically survive until they make it. These interviews where we found people who actually came from different parts of the world and now have families and have placed their roots here in Birmingham.
I think I left everything to come here. Obviously, I left my family, my friends. So when I reached over here, it was a big change in my life.
And also people from Birmingham. And we just were into their places and asked for an interview.
I don't think I 100% belong here, but at the same time, I don't belong to my home city anymore.
And they gave us a really beautiful deep interviews of their lives and really nice stories.
We all start this journey alone. We will spin through time and space, finding home in people and places, holding each other down, lifting each other up in this city of 1,000 trades. More than 1,000 have traded everything. What would you trade? To be lost in the spin of this city? To be found?
My name is Daniela Cardim. I am a choreographer and I was a ballet dancer with Dutch National Ballet and with the ballet company in Rio de Janeiro. It's hard to say which choreographer influenced me the most. I think I have a little bit of influence from Hans van Manen because he is the greatest choreographer from the Netherlands, and of course throughout my career I was always watching his work and I really admire his work. So Hans van Manen, yes, there is some influence from him, but also from other classical choreographers like Christopher Pastor, who was also a choreographer at Dutch National Ballet. I admire very much Christopher Wheeldon and what he's been doing lately. So I think everything you see and everything you dance, you are influenced by that slightly. So imminent is an abstract work that is inspired by a situation. So we start the piece in a place, in a world that is very harmonious, that is very happy, if you will, that everything works fine. And then we have one person that notices that something is actually not quite right. So imminent is about this feeling that there is something not quite right and we don't know what it is necessarily, but you can feel that something bad is coming. Then we get into a point where actually it becomes more obvious to some people that something is not right. And then you have this window of opportunity that opens to you. And then it's about making a choice of whether to take that opportunity or not, and having the courage to do so, even though it might be scary and you might not quite know what's going to happen if you make that decision. And then, just stop low. Yeah, stop low. We started rehearsing right after. It was the first possibility after lockdown to start working. And it was scary and exciting at the same time. Actually worked better than I expected. It is hard to work with masks. I think for the dancers it's very hard to rehearse with masks. What was nice was that everybody was really excited about being back at work and being able to do our job, our art. So I guess that feeling of excitement and being happy to be back also compensated for the procedures that we then had to do.
My name is Goyo Montero. I'm a Spanish choreographer. former dancer, choreographer, and director in Germany of the Staatstheater Nuremberg Ballet, the Ballet Nuremberg. I have been here in Nuremberg for 14 seasons. It's my 14th season, so I'm fortunate to have my own company, and I'm also resident choreographer with Acosta Danza since 2019. I was formerly a classical dancer that had interest in contemporary dance, in contemporary art, and I found my own way of expressing through choreography, and I've been fortunate enough to make my living with it. Actually, Chacona comes a long way in my work, because I'm always been a huge admirer of Bach, no? And it was commissioned by the Ministry of Culture of Spain to work with Tamara Rojo, working with principal dancers from Netherlands Dance Theatre, from Forsyth Company, all Spanish dancers that were abroad, you know. Then in 2011, in my company here in Nuremberg, I enlarged this work for my whole company here. So I did this Chacona, and Julio Boca, the director, was director then of the Ballet Nacional Sodre in Uruguay. He saw the full length and he said, but I love the Chacona, I would like it to present it alone. I would like it to be their own piece, you know. So he commissioned that, and then I did a new version for a Ballet Nacional Sodre, and that was in 2017. So the piece comes from 2003, but it's been evolving. And the last, the Chacona alone was presented for the first time in 2017 in Sodre, in Ballet Nacional Sodre in Uruguay. I think music and dance communicate. Therefore, the choreography of the Chacona is built always relating or connecting with the instrument, you know. So there is this kind of like conversation going on, you know. This you can call it a conversation, or sometimes a fight, sometimes challenging each other, sometimes bringing each other up or down, you know. And I think the awareness of the dancer listening to this live music with a musician on the stage becomes something magical.
私の名前は栗原優です。カンパニーでのランクはソリストです。私がバレエを始めたのは8歳の時で、なんで始めたかっていうと、私のお姉ちゃんがバレエをやっていて、周りの家族とかがやったらって言われたので始めました。バレエを習ったのは親が転勤していたので、いろんなところには行ってはいたんですけど、結局は東京のスクールでプロになろうと思ったのは、中学校入ってからで、私の先生が私になんかプロになりたいかっていうのをこう聞かれて、でそこで少し考えて、16歳の時にYAGPユースアメリカグランプリに出て、でニューヨークファイナルで1位をもらって、でスカラシップをもらってロイヤルバレエ学校に イギリスの踊りは多分私が思うに表現力が豊かなので、イギリスに来てロイヤルバレエとかバーミンガムロイヤルバレエの踊りを見て、動きを見てるっていうよりもなんかその動きから伝わるものを感じ取って感動して楽しむ、その見てる方もそういう表現力によってすごく感動するっていうことを感じたので、それがすごく勉強になります。スクールからプロになって、スクールではなんかスケジュールが全部決まっていて、朝の何時から夜の何時までって全部スケジュールが組まれているから、こう自分で考えなくても勝手にハードワークになるけど、プロになると、毎日のスケジュールがバラバラなので、忙しい時はすごく忙しいし、忙しくない時は全然忙しくないっていうことで、自分で今日は何もないから自分でやらなきゃいけないことを考えて自分でスケジューリングして、でその週のスケジュール全部見て、こうバランスをとってオーバーワークしないようにするようにスケジューリングするっていうのがちょっと違うなと思います。なんかプロになると公演回数が増えるので、怪我に気をつけなきゃいけないから、そうなってくるとこうオーバーワークしないけどやらなきゃいけないことはやらなきゃいけないので、そういうスケジューリングについてちょっと違うかなと思います。キャスティングが出て、で私がやるって決まった時はとてもびっくりして、初めロミジュリをやったこともないので、ストーリーも知っていなきゃいけないし、有名なストーリーだとは言っても勉強することとてもたくさんあるなっていう最初の印象があります。とても楽しみです。そうですね、リハーサル最初は不安だったんですけど、時間とリハーサルを重ねるうちに少しずつこうジュリエットを知れて、それと同時に私自身のことも少しずつ知れるっていうか、なんか自分のことも知らなかったことがいっぱいあって、でこの役をやることによって自分探しをできているのがとても面白いなと思います。ラズライスカイはコロナ禍の後、長いロックダウンのすぐ後にあった公演で、それまでずっと踊ってなかったので、急にその前まですごいいっぱい忙しくしていて、急にパンデミックになってみんな家にこもって何もできなかった時期の後、やっと踊れるっていう時の最初の公演がラズライスカイで、なので結構思い出深い作品です。で初めて、リーディングロールをやらせてもらって、で、最初はなんかあんまり私がリーディングしてるっていうのも分かんないまま始まったんですけど、でもすごいいろんな人に助けてもらって、でトム・ロジャーズと組ませていただいたことで、なんか彼はすごい、力強くてすごく頼りになって、でなんか本当に助けていただいて、でやっとできたっていう感じです
Hi, my name's Yvette Knight. I'm a first soloist with Birmingham Royal Ballet. Welcome to Freefall. I've been working with Freefall for 3 years now. I stepped into their studio to explore what they were about, and they never got rid of me, and it's actually become the highlight of my week, every week. Freefall Dance Company was created back in 2002, and its aim was to provide provision within the arts for dancers with severe learning disabilities. Our latest project film, Stepping Out, Stepping Up, which you're about to see, is one of our most special ones, really, because after all the Zoom sessions that we did in lockdown, which required so much hard work from our freefallers, commitment, dedication, which they had, meant that when we did venture out, when it was safe to do so in an outdoor space, they created something very special, and they had a little bit of normality back. It was inspired by one of Carlos's favourite bands, which is a different sort of sound that they're not used to, and I think they created movement that we've never seen before. I hope you enjoy it.
次はフリーホールダンスカンパニーのとても素敵な作品を皆様に紹介します。その前に皆様に嬉しいお知らせがあります。最近私たちバーミンガムロイヤルバレエ団の YouTube チャンネルができました。その中の BRBTV は新しい企画で普段なかなか見ることができないダンサーたちの日常生活を紹介する内容になっています。 興味のある方はぜひチャンネル登録をお願いします。それでは長い間お付き合いありがとうございました。また皆様とお会いできる日を楽しみにしております。
My name is Yasuo Atsuji. I'm going to give you technique tips for jeté entracé. Always go arabesque, turn out, step, step, then do the jump.
Today I'm going to be showing you some exercises for hip stability. So folding forward, really keeping those hips nice and level, thinking about engaging through your ribs, keeping your ribs down, especially as you fold forwards.
I'm going to share my tips and tricks to perform and execute a C-zone. I find the C-zone exercise a great way to really build stamina throughout the Allegro.
We're going to look at today plyometrics on an intermediate level. Boom. 2, 3, 4, 5, and rest there. Good.
Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed your time with us for World Ballet Day. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our social channels for more great content from us, and don't forget to register with Saddest Wales for ticket alert to our launch of Saddest Wales digital stage.